Whoever would like to speak first, tell me. What
I'll speak
happened?
first because I'm the one. I was in my laptop and almost 2 o'clock the dog kept barking because I got 8 loose dogs outside. So I peeked through the kitchen window and I see a guy got down on a light colored car, probably gray. And then I went out and I asked him, and he approached me and I asked him, I said, "Hey, sir, are you lost? Are you looking for someone?" I said, and he told me, "I need to borrow one of your car." I said, "No, you cannot borrow my car. You have your own car. Why are you borrowing my car?" I said, "No, the policeman shoot it." I said, "No, I cannot give you." So he demanded the key, and at that point, he took out this gun from his right pocket, and he pointed at me and said, "I need the key on this car."
No idea who this guy was.
No, never seen him in my life. I don't know who he is, where he came from, but I know it's Chamorro because he first talked to me in Chamorro, and I told him, "I'm not Chamorro, I'm Filipino."
Yeah.
And so by the time that he pointed the gun at me, we were at the porch, and it slipped my mind to come back to the house, but I thought if I come back to the house, I might just take him inside. So I walked around the house to the back to warn my kids, but he was following me with a gun. He didn't shoot at me. And I opened the window of my son in the corner over there, and I told him, "Please lock the front door. There's a man outside with a gun." So my son and my daughter went out their room, but as soon as they got on this in front of the kitchen, the guy was already inside wailing the gun at my wife, and my wife was sleeping in the living room.
So who all was home?
My wife, my 2 daughters, my son, and my grandson.
6 of you.
Yes. So as soon as I got out on the corner, I come out on the corner, I saw the cops over there. The cops almost shoot me because they thought I was just thinking probably they thought I'm the guy. So
Yeah.
I went like this, and I kept pointing like that. I said, this inside. So they called me and said, "Come over here." So I walk over there, and they took me all the way to the corner outside. And
They
then,
took you to safety.
yes, they took me to safety all the way on the main road of town.
And while this was happening, your wife, your son, your 2 daughters, and your grandson still inside.
Yes, they were inside, and I was telling the cops, I said, "I'm worried my family is there, but they don't want me to get near." They said that just in case the guy fired, I might get hit. So they asked me the layout of the house, all the exits, windows, and who's inside the house. So I told them my wife, my 2 daughters, grandson, and my son. So they asked me to describe my son because, they might be mistaken identity. So I told him he's a heavy-set guy and he doesn't have a shirt. I said, the guy that went inside my house is like around 5'4", 5'5", and kind of skinny. Not really skinny, but lightweight.
Yeah.
So they weren't mistaken him. So I was waiting there for a long time, and
Long
then
time you were waiting there, ma'am. While he was waiting out there, you were inside. What was happening?
Well, I was sleeping in the living room and I woke up from all the dogs barking. And so I lightly got myself up, still trying to focus on what was going on. And I turned my head to the door, and a guy was standing there at the door looking at me with a gun. And I looked and I said, "Who are you?" He goes, "Give me the keys to your car." And I said, "But who are you?"
The same thing that your husband
Yes.
experienced.
And he started being loud and vulgar with me, telling me vulgar language, telling me give him the goddamn keys. And then my son and my daughter came out, and my son said, "Mom, just give him the keys. Just give him what he wants. Give him what he wants." So by the time I gave him the car keys, the police were already talking to him through the window, like outside the house, saying, "Vincent, don't need to get the family involved here." Then he said back to the police officer, "Too late for that. Too late for that." And then they started exchanging conversations over the outside and inside the house.
The whole time, what was going through you and your family's mind? You just-
Well, when I looked at my daughter, she was frozen in fear. My other daughter and her son were scared. She was breathing hard. And then I try to be the calm one because I'm the parent. I have to show my kids that this thing can pass us and we can get through this. No matter what, we're all together. If anything, if the guy gets anything out of hand, I'm pretty sure that we can take him down because there's 4 of us. That's what was going through my head.
Yeah.
But the instinct told me find any object because we have so much weapons around here, like knives, woods.
Unsuccessful?
No, because I told myself I do not want my kids to see that side of me, that my instinct will come out, and I will have a side that my kids will see for the rest of their life. They'll be traumatized.
Your grandson, where was he in all this? Did
He
the
was
suspect
sleeping
okay.
in the
suspect
bedroom.
never harmed him or?
No,
Okay.
no, he was in the bedroom. So the suspect asked me, "Do we have a back door? Where's the back door? And how many people are in the house?" So he started taking me and my son to shield him as a body shield, walking around the house trying to see if the house is fully empty besides us, and
Yeah.
if there is any other
Just
exit.
relax. Yeah.
And then after he saw that there's no exit out and the windows were all barred, he was like, "What? There's no exit out here? The windows are, why did your husband do that?" So we're like, I don't know. So we try to stay calm. And for me, I wanted my kids to see that I was very calm because I don't want them to panic. And I know I wanted to panic, but I wanted my kids to be calm because I don't want anyone hurt.
Yeah.
That's my first thought was, yes, I wanted to go outrage and grab anything and go crazy with him because he's in my home, fearing my family, putting fear in my family. So he asked my daughter, can he use the phone because they disconnect my power. GPA disconnect my power.
Mhm.
So we couldn't use the landline. So he asked my daughter, can he use her phone to call his girlfriend?
Mhm.
So he used his phone to call his girlfriend,
Mhm.
but they were cut off. So he used my husband's cell phone to call his girlfriend for the second time again.
Yeah.
And he was saying something to his girlfriend like, "Babe, I got it. Those policemen, those GPDs thought that they were smart, but those police thought that they were good, but I was gooder." And I don't know what that conversation was about.
What took so long? 5 hours we
Yes.
were out there watching all this unfold
Yeah.
from the next street over on Swamp Road. What took so long?
He was thinking. He kept trying to think, but the police kept holding him from outside saying, "Vincent, give yourself up." He said, "Man, those effing police are getting on my nerve. I'm already a crazy person. They keep making me more crazy. I'm going to start shooting people. And then the first one I'm going to shoot is this guy right here." And he
son?
pointed to my son. He kept saying he's going to shoot my son. That's what he kept saying. And then my son turned around and told him, "Dude, just calm down and can you just let my sister and her baby go? Can you just let them go? We'll stay, but let my sister and her baby go." And he thought about it and he goes, "Okay, come on, go, go, go." So when they walked out, the police said, "Thank you for letting them go." He goes, "Yeah, yeah." So
This was
then,
only a couple hours.
yeah,
right?
towards in. And then he wanted a cigarette. So the policeman said, "We'll give you a cigarette if you let one go." He goes, "Man, I gave you 2.
Yeah.
And you didn't do anything for me when I gave you 2.
Yeah.
But it was my son's idea to have his sister and the baby go out. So then he said, he turned around and he goes, "Okay, I'm going to let the mom go. I'm going to let the lady go." So he goes, "Auntie, come on, you're leaving." He called me auntie, and I was like, okay, I guess he has a little bit of respect for elders.
Yeah.
Because, he called me auntie. He didn't know my name, so he just said, "Auntie, come on, you're going." And I turned to my daughter and I said, "No, I want you to go." And she was frozen. She goes, "No, Mom, just go, before he changed his mind." Because we were arguing, "Ash, I want you to go." She goes, "No, Mom, just go. Go before he changes his mind." And my son goes, "Mom, come on, hurry up." So then I said, okay. So I said, okay, so I walked out. And then I met my husband and my other daughter and the baby. and then he wanted to eat. He asked my son for food, but I don't know what happened after that.
Yeah, because he was released
So
over.
you left, and so it's just your daughter and your son in
Yeah,
there. What was the emotion going through your mind, especially
Oh.
when you finally reunited with your husband?
I was praying.
Crying?
I was praying to God. I was telling God that just let this thing pass, let everything, let the guy come to his senses, whatever it is troubling him, you know. Let him find a little peace of mind to let my daughter and my son go because, you know, we're innocent. He just needed someone to hold, to keep the policeman away from him, but there's no way out of the house. Well, how he came in was the only way
All
out.
the way in and out. So
Yeah.
late that afternoon, police used the flashbang, broke in.
And my son took the guy down. They were standing in the living room and they cracked the door enough to throw that thing in. And
Did
my
it
son
put
saw the
smoke everywhere,
opportunity. Oh,
It just like flashed.
Just-
it flashed.
Yeah.
And my son saw the opportunity, and that's when he struggled with the gun. And my son said that the guy kept trying to shoot him with the gun.
Uh-huh.
He kept trying to aim the gun to him, but my son, they were struggling with the gun, and my son finally just took him down
Yeah.
and hold him down. And when the policeman came in, he had, my son already had the suspect down on the floor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just make sure he doesn't. And so this whole time, after everything that happened, what is going through your mind the next day? Your
Oh.
family's safe.
I came when they gave us our house back. Well, yeah, they took all of us to the precinct and we were all reunited over there. We were all shaken, like really scared, but we saw each other that we're still alive.
Yeah.
And we kept thanking God and giving praise that we're together and alive.
At least nobody get hurt.
This is the first experience, you know, that my family has ever encountered. And, you know, my kids even said, man, I thought our house would be safe.
Being so far in here.
Yeah. hmm
Sir, if I could have you say, what's the one thing that the community can learn from what your family did, from how they responded to result in you guys safely getting out of this?
I guess, I don't know, this is unexpected for us too. This is our first experience with this thing.
Yeah.
And all the time, there are some people who are getting lost because this is a dead end. And it's my experience that when my dogs bark, I always go out and ask them if they're lost or what, or they're looking for.
Yeah.
And I didn't expect that this guy is being followed by the cops and he has a gun.
Yeah. Anything you want to say to the police department after everything that happened?
I want to thank them because of their patience and negotiations and everything, just like what I told in the department. And we thank them. And I was also thankful that my son has a presence of mind to take the guy down because the guy put a gun on his head. And then when the policeman threw the flash thing, the guy was distracted a little bit. So that was the opportunity for my son to take him down and grab the gun.
Mhm.
So I would say
What does your son do what is his profession?
he's a nurse at Guam Regional
Okay.
Medical City.
So sorry, you were saying don't.
Yeah, I would just say to the neighbors, whoever did not experience this yet, if a car, like in this area of ours, if it's a car parked and you don't know the person, just let it be. Don't approach them. Don't approach them. If they know you and they know that who is inside the house, they will call.
Yeah.
And that's the time you open the door and let them in. But if you don't know them, please don't get out. It's dangerous, especially at night. Even though you have dogs, just like me, I have 8 dogs, but it didn't bother the guy.
Yeah. Well, both of you, thank you so much for speaking
Yeah.
with us. We really
Yeah.
appreciate your bravery and opening up and
Thank you.
sharing your
Yeah.
story so that something like this can be avoided or so that families can learn. It's a lesson learned. So thank you both so much, and we're glad you're safe.